Hey, good morning, students. What we're doing today is you're going to learn how to draw or lay out, is what we call it in the sheet metal industry. You're going to lay out the tool tray on a piece of paper. So the first thing you're going to do is you're going to draw it on a piece of paper, cut it out, fold it all up, and turn that into me. Then I'll give you your piece of metal, and then you'll start in on the metal. So you notice that all you have on your desk is a shiny new ruler, and or it's a steel rule. It's $54. Don't bend it or do anything crazy like that, or you'll be buying us one. And each one has your table number on it. I put this tape down so my paper won't move because I don't want it to move out of the frame of the picture. You do not need to tape it down. So what we are doing is we're going to lay this out. And the first thing that we're going to do, it says all the different lines are laid out. Step A, Step B, Step C, Step D, Step E. And then there's an F, which is this line, and there's a G, which is this line. And then this other stuff over here, we just kind of have to just kind of go by the drawing. But this is the main structure here, and these two lines here. And what we're doing is, to get this middle line, we are going to measure 5 inches in and draw a line. When we were using our T-square, you only had to have one mark because your T-square would keep the square perpendicular to the side of the drafting table. So if you put one mark here, the T-square would make it straight. Well, we're not using T-squares, so we cannot use just one mark. We have to use 2 marks. In order to get a straight line, as you know in geometry, a line has 2 points on it. So you have to have a point here and a point down here, and then you will connect those two, and that's how you will get a straight line that is perpendicular to the ends, or a straight line that is parallel to the front and the top and the bottom edges. So the first one we need to do, step A, is measure down 5 inches and draw the line. So we need to measure down 5 on both ends. Come down here, 5, make a mark. Come down here, 5, make a mark. The further apart your marks are, the more accurate your drawing is. There you go. That's step A. Step B, you measure up 3 inches from step A. So you're going to measure up 3, up 3, draw that line, and step C, you're going to measure up 1 3/4 inches up from step B. Here's step C. So you're going to measure up 1 3/4. Step C. Next one is step D. You're going to measure down 3 inches from step A. 3 inches. Set it on 3. And then step E is 1 3/4 from step D. Setting on 1 3/4. Okay, so you have A, B, C, D, and E. Now we need to do F and G. Those are these guys here. So you see that F is 4 inches from the end of the paper. This line here is 4 inches from the end. This line here is 4 inches from the end. So, come down here, set this to 4, make a mark, set this to 4, make a mark, connect those, oops. That was F. Now G, 4 inches from here. Oops. Okay. So now we need to draw the kind of the hips for the box right here and right here where the ends go out. And you can see from our center line A, we're going to measure up 1 3/4, or measure down in the camera. Measure down, or 3 and we're going to we're going to measure over 1 3/4 and 1 3/4, and we're going to draw this line right here. 1 3/4, 1 3/4, draw that line. One and 3/4, 1 3/4. Draw him there. Same thing on this side. 1 3/4. 1 3/4. I'm going to zip around here real quick, make sure this thing is still taping. It is. Okay, now on these 1 3/4 lines, we need to measure up 3 1/2 and 3 1/2. So on this end here, we'll measure up 3 1/2, make a mark, and set that at 3 1/2 up here. Make a mark. Same thing over here. 3 1/2, make a mark. And in here, 3 1/2, make a mark. Now, we are going to make the ends just before the hem here. And it says 3 3/4. We're going to make this line. We're going to make this line right here. So we're going to measure over 3 3/4. Make a mark. 3 3/4 here. make a mark, and we will draw this line here, and it should leave about a 1/4 of an inch, and 3 3/4. This one's dead on here. 3 3/4. So now we need to measure up from that line, the center line, up 1 1/2 and down 1 1/2 off of our center line. So from that line we just drew. Look, I'm going to put this at 1 1/2 right there, and make a mark there, and I'll make a mark at 3. Save some time. Set this over here, 1 1/2, in there. So now we are going to make the outlines for the ends. We're going to go from this corner here, which is this corner here. We're going to draw to here, which is there. Then we're going to go from here to here, which is from here to here. And afterwards we're going to put the hems on this end here. That's what we're going to do. Now we're going to go from here to here, which is from here to here. So, this pretty much looks like what we need to do, except we need to make these laps on here. They're 1/2 of an inch. They're 1/2 of an inch. 1/2 of an inch, 1/2 of an inch. So, everything else, oh no, we still have to do the hems on here also. So on here, we've got to add these hems on. These hems are the things that get bent over. They get bent over, completely over, so that the metal is smooth, so there's not a cut surface. On all the sheet metal stuff, wherever you touch it with your hand, you want to have the metal completely bent over so it's smooth. You don't want to have the cut edge, because it'll wreck your hand. So we're going to put the hems on here. They're 1/4 of an inch. This is a hem here, this is a hem, this is a hem, this is a hem, and we have to put them on here also. So all you do is you just go measure 1/4 on this end of the hem, and 1/4 over here, and go and you can draw that on there. And I know what 1/4 is, so I'm just going to draw this on here. And again, 1/4 here, and 1/4 here. sheet and do this one for time purposes. So, and for these ones, you're just going to, this trim off area here, you're going to just extend this up. And you're going to extend this up, because this is where you're going to cut. And extend this up here. Extend this here. So what we can do is we can angle these edges on these hems. Right now you see they're straight. And we can angle them a little bit. Just put on like approximately a 45-degree angle. It doesn't have to be anything special. Again, you can eyeball it. If it's 30 degrees or 60 degrees or... So all that is left now is for us to put these laps on here. They're 1/2 of an inch. So what we're going to do is we're going to measure over here 1/2 of an inch and measure over here 1/2 of an inch and draw the lines there. Now, it doesn't have to go all the way through naturally. And we're going to measure over here 1/2 an inch, and we'll draw the lines. So it's going to go just like this. Set that on 1/2, make a mark. Set that on 1/2, make a mark. And go and stop it. Just like this. Don't go all the way through because it might confuse you a little bit. So 1/2 of an inch. 1/2 of an inch. And these also are going to kind of be on 45-degree angles. Coming out of that corner. Just make them about 45. Doesn't have to be right on the money. Because again, these are things that get bent over to attach it. That's it. So, what we're going to do is cut it out. And believe it or not, the only stuff that gets cut out is just this. That's the only stuff that gets cut out. This corner, this corner, this corner, this corner. All the rest of it, it's going to stay, and it's going to get folded or bent completely over. Okay, I'm going to leave these pieces of tape down so I know where the camera is. So I'll stay inside of these. Okay, I'm just going to go like this. You can cut this up a million different ways. these little corners out here. If you don't take these little edges out, when you try and fold it over on itself, it won't work. See, aren't you guys completely stoked that you had drafting, so you're going to be able to knock this out like it's nothing? You're all into measuring and all that kind of stuff. You've been given such a gift here to do this at this point. This is good too for the SAT, for the paper doll section, where you have to be very proficient with the scissors in order to make the little paper dolls where they spread out. Okay, this is it right here. So this is a hem, 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 hem. Those get completely folded over. Those will be the first things that we do. Then I don't know. Let's just do it. Here's this hem here. He gets folded over completely, just like this. This hem here gets folded over completely, like that. This hem here gets folded over, like that. That's what a hem is. It's folded over, so the metal will be folded over so it doesn't cut you. Come over here, fold this guy over, this guy over, this guy over here. Here's a long one. Over here. And the folding may help you on the origami section of the SAT. Okay, right now let's bend these laps over, and we open them back up. Bend the lap over, open them back up, lap over, open them back up, open them back up. So now all that's left to do is we need to fold it along here, bring this up, fold it along here, bring this up, fold this up a little bit, not all the way, fold this up, and we'll put some tape on the ends to kind of hold it. So fold him on here, right on the line, open him back up, right there, open that back up. Fold this along here. Open him back up. Open him back up. So, open the laps up. Bring this up here. This is how this connects together. When you're going to, right now you're just going to put a little piece of tape on here. When you have the metal one, you're going to put a rivet in here, or a couple rivets. Then you're going to actually solder it. So, I'll just use this old tape. No, I better leave it so I know where we are. So we're just going to use our little tape from the drafting tape that'll have the 4 little pieces on it. I'll make sure some of that is cut. So you just put this on here like this. Put this on here like this. And as far as the handle goes, when you have this all done, we'll start on the handle. So that's it. That's the tool tray, sans, which means without, the handle. So when you have this all done, bring this up to me. I will look at it, note it down in the grade book, and then I will hand you your piece of metal. From there, you will take the metal over to the area where we're going to stamp your name into it, and you'll stamp your name and period into the bottom of the metal. That's the first thing you do. Then we're going to go over to the other station, and you're going to paint it with the die-chem blue. And after that, you'll use a sharp nail, and you're going to use the same steel rule that you use to draw it on paper. You'll use a steel rule along with the nail, and you're going to scratch everything into the die-chem blue that you just did here. And then you'll cut it out, and we'll do all sorts of bending and stuff. But that is how you do it right there. Unbelievable. Oh well, I'll talk to you later.